Okay, that's enough. That's super overrated, Mr. Rogers. Yes, I watched the documentary Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, but it's called Won't You Be My Neighbor? It's called Won't You Be My Neighbor? And man, oh man, aside from all the political stuff that the filmmakers put into the documentary, um, Mr. Rogers is genuinely a profound human being. And his process is just genuine and honest and real, and it's awesome. His life was really amazing, and the things that he helped promote are just I don't know, they benefited all of humanity. I'm super stoked for that. One of the things I took from it was this whole silence is grand concept, that pausing and just being silent. And I don't know, I think that might be a little overrated. I'll let you decide that. I am super stoked though, because I just got notification today that one of the coolest coffee mugs on planet Earth, not this one, is in the mail coming to my house. I'm gonna wait to share that with you because it's just, you gotta see it. It's awesome. I don't think that there's any competitive mug to this, and I could be wrong. Someone could have a magical unicorn mug that they're in love with, but if there's a term for people that love mugs a lot, that would apply to me. Just as something that I struggle with, but it makes me happy, and I know this. So speaking of happiness, let's get to it, because I did have someone tell me that my videos are too long, and I tend to agree with them. My attention span's short unless I'm talking, and then I just want to keep rambling on. So I wanted to talk about the things that make me happy, and this journey as to why I'm doing the videos again, and a struggle of comparing myself. I stopped doing these videos because I found myself comparing the quality, the content, against these behemoths in this industry of content creation. And against just my social media against other people's social media, my videos against someone else's videos, and my life against someone else's, and what I have to share isn't as good as what other people have to share. Gosh, I mean, if you struggle with this, it's paralyzing. I genuinely just felt I can't do this anymore. I'm not good enough to do this anymore. And I think that is something that we all struggle with, is comparing our current position against someone, a friend, colleague, or something, whatever, a Ferrari versus your Toyota. I don't know. And you start looking at that untangible, gigantic thing, and it becomes paralyzing. And so what I had to do to get out of that rut, and this is something that I wanted to share with you, because you will compare, you will envy, you will covet. And there's too much out there. 20 years ago, we didn't know what we didn't know, right? For instance, 20 years ago, I did not know that there was a $40,000 vacation to the Maldives. And I also didn't know that you could also do a $400,000 week vacation on a yacht in the Maldives. What I did know is I could go to the Maldives and spend a week there and spend a lot of money. But that now seems like peanuts, like lame-o, compared to this massive, grand vacation that influencers on social media are showing me. And that becomes just paralyzing. You feel stuck. And so what I had to do in order to overcome that, in order to overcome my comparing what I'm doing here against other people, is trying to understand what is reflecting back at me. What about all of that is the reflection that's coming back onto me that is what makes me happy, that's causing joy. And what I realized is that, for instance, on the vacation, I identified that as adventure and beach and water, and laughing and family being there and interaction and good times. And then with these videos, I realized that it's not the gigantic platform. It's not the gigantic, media base that other people in this industry have, but it's just their willingness to share is what makes me happy. And so once I started identifying what it is about all these things I'm comparing my life to, and figuring out, okay, what is it that's reflecting back at me that I am able to unpack and identify into things that are tangible, that are reachable, that are qualities that I want, then all it takes is for me to start surrounding myself with those things. Because what happens is, once I've identified adventure and family and sharing my life, and teaching, then and designing and creating, once I've identified those things, then I can just start surrounding myself with those things. They don't have to be grand. They don't have to be massive adventures and super crazy million-person viral videos. All I have to do is start surrounding myself with what's within reach. Adventure that's within reach. Video and sharing that's within reach, that's within budget. And the more that I create an environment around me that is of those things that make me happy, then the reflection of me outward will become those things. And I started to realize it's that simple, that it is impossible to compare yourself against social media and what everybody is doing, even if that's just your family member or colleague or friend. It's impossible to compare yourself against that, because what is behind that reflection is immense sacrifice, and not just immense sacrifice, but a personal posture and happiness towards life that doesn't fit within our personal posture and vantage point on life. So once you identify the sacrifices you're willing to make and identify the things it is that are reflecting back on you that you need in your life to make you happy, then it's just a matter of surrounding yourselves and creating that environment within your sacrifice level and your budget and your, lifestyle. And once you start doing that, it grows, and you start just being immersed in an environment that will become what it is that you're comparing yourself against. And I promise, just know that behind every one of those photos on social media, behind every one of those Ferraris that people are driving in your neighborhood, is sacrifice that you may or may not be willing to make. And so that is the end of that. It says 8 minutes. Sorry if you didn't watch this long. If you did, I hope that changes your life today. See you tomorrow.